When should we grow, plants, vegetables? And when I first started, I'm thinking, well, spring is a good time to start planting, and summer it will thrive, and then fall, we have a lot of harvest. But as I, do more gardening, I learned that you have to grow all the time. And so initially, what I do is I'll have my garden bed, and then I'll put the seeds down, and then wait for it to grow. And what I find is that during that time, it's just a lot of waiting time, and so there's a lot of non-productivity. And lately, I learned that you should always, every few weeks, 1, 2, 3 weeks, you should do seeds uh, in something like this. And so what you do is you have seeds all the time. So depend on the season, right? So in summer, certain things grow well in the summer, and you put seeds for that in the summer, right? So in the winter, kale and and mustards and bok choy and stuff like this, it grows well in the winter. So I always have something started in in these pots here, and then I do the seedlings. I start them here, and then when they get a little big like this, what I can do is I can dump them out. So you have them in here, and then when they're big enough, what you do is you take them out, split them, and then you can do the individual plants in another pot, or you can just directly sow into the ground or wherever you grow, in pots, in the ground, in your garden bed, whichever. But I would always have something like this. I put somewhere, and with these, it's mobile. So let's say I started here and I start seeing snails. I can move it to a place where the snails are not getting to my plants. So I would start a few of these, label them, and once they get big like this, I can take them out and individually grow them. But you do this throughout the year, so you don't have to always stick to spring or summer or fall. Even in winter, you can do something like this. Winter grows a little slower, but there are certain things that thrive in the winter. But you always have something like this growing, and then when it's big enough, you take them out and you grow in the garden. So that way, the garden always has something growing, right? It's not that we're waiting for the seeds to come up. There's always something growing in the garden. And so this is one of my, um, my growing area. And so this is the kind of thing you don't want in your garden, which is just it not producing or not doing anything. Um, the reason why this is empty is I think I got some animals or getting into it and digging it up because I've been growing it just like the other pots. But you can see it kind of died off, and there's only like one little flimsy plant right there. But yeah, um, otherwise, you don't want your growing, or you don't want your growing place to look kind of like just full of weeds, like this. So where it's just not producing, it's just being abandoned. So always put something in for it to grow. Okay. So once you have those seedlings, you can grow them like this, and that's exactly what I did. I took the seedlings, the small plants from the little cup, transplant them out to something like this. See, and then they continue to grow. So your garden is always having something to look forward to. It's always changing. And so the ground is not empty waiting for the seeds to come up. You have something like this all the time. So this is winter. It's almost this is the last day of 2023. So you can see that it's growing. You see over there, there's kale. And yeah, kale thrive great in the winter. Bok choy, broccoli, mustards. So always something growing in the garden.